What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. We did not get the daily close that we were looking for. We are not breaking out. We are not at the areas that I was hoping we'd be at by the time I made this video, and I think we can largely attribute that to Bitcoin going down. I do think Bitcoin will continue to go down, so XRP here at 229 likely continues to move down as well. If we're looking at this from a high to a low here, the expectation would be that we see prices probably down at about $2.20. It's very possible you could go even just a little bit below there. That 382 is right there at 219, 220. So if you go a little bit below $2.20, maybe go to like 215, something like that, you're fine. I really wouldn't be surprised at all if XRP went down there, right? Looking at the daily time frame, daily RSI, starting to really separate, getting a lower low here. I think you'll probably come down to the 40, and that's where you'll find support. If not at the 40, maybe a little bit below the 40. You do that sometimes. You can find support a little bit below the 40. That's fine. And that would call for a slightly lower price, $2.29, $2.19, $2.15. That's slightly lower. That's fine. I don't believe we take out that low. We'll maintain our higher lows, absolutely. But we're probably just going to go a little bit lower. Looking at the 1 hour time frame here, 1 hour RSI is looking a bit volatile. Actually, it's pretty crazy. It's a pretty crazy RSI right there, man. XRP's been tradable over the past couple of days, huh? Yeah, that's nice. Volatility at its finest. But you're on the bad side of that, right? You can see it. I mean, you can see it in the RSI. Getting more oversold than you're getting overbought. More consistently, you're living. Like if we circled this whole zone, how much of it's spent below the 50 versus above the 50, right? Most of it's below the 50, bearish. You can see it in the price, reflected, bearish, lower highs, lower lows, the whole shebang, right? And now we're getting oversold and we're not even getting into the overbought zone. So this is kind of a test back at prior support for resistance. We're finding resistance. I'm assuming we'll begin our final onslaught here. I don't know how fast it's going to be. I'm expecting that we will move down here. And I think that crypto will probably bottom out. I think that what today's Thursday? Yeah, we'll probably bottom out going into the end of the stock week here, and then the weekend will be boring again, like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whatever. And then when Monday comes around, we'll begin to pump, and that'll be when things start to move up. If not Monday, sometime next week. I think that next week will be the week. I feel like a broken record because I've been saying that for like the last 2 weeks. I'm very surprised, I must admit. I am actually very surprised that we did not have an end-of-month rally for May, and that can happen at any point in time. It really could, but I think we're over-leveraged in the markets, guys. I think we need to clear out these leveraged positions. There's going to be some stop hunts that happen, and opening up the new month will probably give us some opportunities to roll over some of those leveraged positions and aim for higher prices. But we'll see. $2.29 now. 3 hours, 52 minutes left in this 4 hour candle here. We just started a 4 hour. Looking at the 4 hour RSI. Lower highs, lower lows. Yeah, you're pretty bad. You look pretty weak here, man. And even here, it's not that significant seeming, but it is significant. Look, right, you got a little pivot high right there. You're higher than that high. It's a higher high there, but really you're lower than that high in the price. It's hidden bearish divergence. Hidden bearish divergence under 4 hour while back testing prior support for resistance. You're going lower. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. I really wouldn't be surprised if you hit $2.15, but something around 220, below 220 is what should be expected. So that's the call. I expect you go there. Looking at this on a 4 hour time frame, it's either going to be today or tomorrow, right? Sometime by the end of the week. Weekend will likely be boring, and then going into next week, hopefully starting off the month of June, will be a bullish endeavor. I think that it will be. We're just chilling right now. And again, something to look forward to with XRP, you guys, is right now, like a lot of cryptos, right now we're in that kind of disbelief section, right? You found your low. The true believers believe that you found your low and that you're going to rep to new all-time highs, but that's not enough, right? You need the market, you need the retails, you need the quote-unquote dumb money to believe as well. Right here, they're not believers, okay? When the price drops to 220, they're not going to be believers. They're going to be like, haha, I was right, good, I'm glad I didn't buy this thing. But whenever it moves up to here, when we're at $3 to $3.20, when we're pressing new all-time highs, the perspective around XRP is going to shift really hard. People are going to stop wondering where it's going to go to the downside. They're going to start talking about the upside. They're going to start wondering about how high this thing's going to go and where the new all-time highs are going to be. They're going to look, if we're looking here at XRP on the crypto chart, you just look at this thing's history. Anytime it moves up, it's at a phenomenal pace. So people are going to start looking at it like that whenever we do shift the momentum here and we start to move up toward $3.30. Right now you're in that in-between phase. You're in the center of this, but it's not so clear. So the true believers, to the XRP army, of course, you guys believe it's very clear where XRP is going to go, but you need to make it clear to the rest of the crowd there. Sorry, I can't talk. Clear to the rest of the crowd. And when you do, I mean, just get ready, man. This thing's going to move like a freight train to $10, $15, somewhere in that price range by the end of June, if not sometime in July. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves, okay? Bye-bye.